Hi, this is Tara for HealingCrystals.com, and this is the astrology report for the week of, what month are we in? September 14th through September 20th? No. Yeah, through September 20th. That's really bad. I can't remember what month we're in. That's all right. It's been that kind of a week. Anyway, let's talk about what kind of astrological energies we've got to work with. So Wednesday, Mercury and Venus are going to be in a semi-sextile, and this energy spurs your appreciation for things of value. It reminds you that beauty is subjective. What you think is special, somebody else may think is just ordinary, okay? This is a time for you to enjoy those things that you think are special, the things that mean something to you. It's an opportunity for you to recognize what those things are. And most importantly, it can seem like a little simplistic to think to yourself, oh, well, I already know what I like, what turns me on and what doesn't. But you know what? We are evolving creatures, and as you change, your taste is going to change. So this is an opportunity for you to kind of look around and see, you know what? Maybe there's something that you've got an interest in that before you were just kind of like, so what? Take time today. Give yourself this time to kind of discover something new about yourself, about the world around you, and see what kind of value that brings to your life. I mean, it's not just you that's evolving, it's the world that's constantly in motion. Everything is constantly in motion. And, sometimes it's good to just take a second, catch up with it, and see, what you're drawn to now. This is not a time to limit yourself. Okay, and I think that we all have a tendency to do that and say, I like this and I don't like that. Don't limit yourself with that. Be open to kind of seeing if maybe you don't just like everything right now. Thursday, we're going to have the Sun and Chiron are going to be in an opposition. And we don't like to think of pain as being a motivational factor in our life, but the truth is that it is. And you may find yourself today recalling moments of sadness or hardship, or find yourself focusing on fears of the future. Obviously, dwelling on these kinds of things is pointless. It's defeatist. It feels like it can't do anything but be harmful. So the question you have to ask yourself is, how can this help you instead of hinder you? And that's what the purpose of this transit is, okay? Aspirations and assertiveness can grow from wanting something better for yourself. And sometimes that means that you have to look at what you don't want before you're able to find the will, bring out your talents that you have to go after the things that you do want. And also, a lot of times we don't give ourselves permission to feel that we're deserving of good things. This is a good day for that, okay? If there's something that whether it's a memory or whether it's something that's coming up or something that's happening now, if it's something that feels bad for you, you deserve better, and you need to honor that emotion and say to yourself, okay, how am I going to change things around and make it good for me, because that is what I deserve. You can't change other people. You can't change the past. You can't change certain situations. But you always have the ability to turn ugly thoughts and memories around so that they're more of a positive influence in your personal life. Okay? You control you. Don't forget that. Friday, Mars and Chiron are going to be in a square. And that's going to produce some inner frustration. Remember, Chiron is the wounded healer. Chiron kind of gives us the ability to heal others, but makes it hard for us to heal ourselves. So we want to find a way to use that energy of healing others and also make it to help ourselves, because that's, the goal is to help everybody, and that includes you as well. So they're going to be in a square, and that's going to produce a lot of inner frustration. That's going to come from feelings of inadequacy and maybe just like a feeling like you're not contributing enough. Okay? Since you don't think you know what you're doing, or you think that you're not doing enough. You're kind of going to assume the same for everybody, that nobody's doing enough. And that could make you kind of go the other way, kind of go too far, and like try to step in and take over and think, okay, if nobody else knows what's going on, then I'm just going to forge ahead, even though you're not really feeling confident, okay? Sometimes, okay, you don't want to be that person. You don't want to be the person who's stepping up and trying to take control, or trying to make a situation better, but you're actually making it worse. And that's the kind of energy that this is, okay? So you want to think really carefully. Make sure before you take that step, before you try to do something in a situation for others or whatever, that you really thought it through, and it's coming from a place of truly wanting to help, and also coming from a place of confidence where you really do believe that you can make a positive difference, okay? Sometimes, just remember, stop and think if you actually have something valuable to contribute. If not, then just step back, let the energy move on, and tomorrow is a whole nother day, okay? When you'll be feeling differently, and you'll start to get back to understanding exactly how much you have to give to the world. What do we talk about? Friday, Saturday. Okay, so Friday, maybe you had to hold back a little bit, but that doesn't mean that you didn't have some great ideas. It just wasn't the best environment to present those ideas. Saturday is a whole different ballgame, okay? Now you've got Mars and Uranus, and they're going to be in a trine, which is a really good positive energy. And this is like the perfect breeding ground for successful, innovative ideas. So if you've got a stroke of genius, now's the time to put it into action, okay? You want to move forward swiftly. You want to move forward decisively. This is the kind of energy that's going to back your actions, and you're going to feel really good and really confident about what you're doing, all right? Sunday. Now Uranus has moved up into an opposition with Venus. So your moods and your desires, they're going to be like flashes of lightning. They're going to be sudden, they're going to be intense, and then boom, they're going to be over before you know it. So it's inevitable that you're going to be changing your mind, and your feelings are going to be fluctuating up and down throughout the day, as well as everybody else's. Remember, this energy is universal. So if somebody else seems to be acting erratically, think to yourself, you know what, maybe they're feeling a little Venus-Uranus opposition, okay? You're going to... there's a lot of urgency in this atmosphere, okay, because that's Uranus that's going to be driving you. So you may feel, it may feel like it's imperative that you do something, you proceed. Try to do so with caution. Try to hold yourself back. A little bit of restraint could be a really good thing right now. But, you know what? Sometimes you got to take a risk. If you feel that it's the right thing to do, if you feel like, you know, you have to trust your instincts during this transit, okay? If you decide that it's the right thing, then go for it. Just be prepared for the consequences, okay? That's what I'm saying when I say show some restraint and really think things through. Think through everything that could possibly happen, and are you prepared to deal with those things? If you are, and you want to go for it, even if you're not, and you still want to go for it, then go for it. Because you know what? Good things can come from impulsive moves, and that's how you make change in your life, okay? Sometimes bad things can come from impulsive moves, but you know what? You can always turn things around too, all right? What you can't turn around is if you have a gut instinct and you don't follow it. You might be left feeling regretful, like, oh, maybe I should have done this. You know what? You don't want to feel that way. It's always, I don't know if you've ever noticed this, but sometimes it's the things that you don't do that you tend to remember more than the things that you do. That didn't really sound too well, but I think you get my point, okay? Trust your instincts. You know what? The energy is very high right now. We're moving towards the equinox. We've got an eclipse coming up. So the energy is very intense right now, and all of our instincts are going to be, you know, at a higher level than usual. Trust yourself. Trust your instincts. You want to go for it, then go for it. And see what happens. And whatever happens, you know what? You'll make it work. All right, wait, I got to scroll here. Ah, shoot. I got to do it with my left hand, and I'm not a lefty. So it's not working. Why is it not working? All right, wait, I got to do this. Sorry. I know this isn't very professional, guys, but here, what can I say? Here we go. Okay. So Monday, Mars is not typically a stabilizing influence, but after Sunday's chaotic, turbulent atmosphere, it's going to just feel wonderful when Mars steps in, okay? It's going to be working with Venus, and what it's going to do is it's going to kind of help Venus. It's going to bring Venus back down to its kind of earthy demeanor. That's where Venus belongs. Venus is a very grounding influence, and that's the how Mars is actually going to bring that back to where it belongs. That's where we get the most benefit from its energy. So on Monday, it's just going to be a pleasant day. All right, you're going to feel confident. You're going to feel secure. You know, you're going to feel like the status of the important elements in your life, they're right where they should be, and everything is just good and working the way that it's supposed to be, and that's just like a really nice way to feel. So enjoy yourself on Monday and allow yourself to just feel happy in the moment. On Tuesday, Venus is going to move into a transit with Saturn, and that could make interactions with others kind of challenging. All right, you may experience some difficulties relating to even your closest associates. You're just not going to feel up to the task of being friendly. I mean, let's face it, it's a job sometimes having to deal with other people, even if it's not like your paying job, you know, and there's just some days where you'd rather be by yourself, and this is going to be one of those days. So allow yourself to do that, all right? If you've got any problems that are involving relationships or finances, this is not the day to approach those, okay? Leave them alone for now. Try not to dwell on them. Wait until the energy feels better. You're not going to make any good progress with it today. Okay. Oh, you know what? I don't have my crystals in my hand here. So okay. Well, we'll just talk about the crystals and we'll pretend they're in my hand. They're behind me probably. Anyway, here's the crystals that I'm going to work with for this week. Carnelian. Perfect for setting aside fear and doubt and encouraging you to take a risk. That's how you initiate change in your life. Any change is good change, okay? May not always seem that way at first, but eventually it all works out the way that it's supposed to be. We are meant to always be changing. That's what I keep telling myself as I keep going through changes. Unakite. One of my favorite crystals because it helps you see your history in a positive light. So when you're going back in your mind and memories are coming through, you want to look at the benefits from them, okay, and use it as a resource. It's going to help you create new opportunities as you're going forward, and also help stabilize your present. Because that's where it's, you know, our history, it's a part of us. And once we recognize that and we're comfortable with it, that can make a huge difference in your life. Finally, Angelite is going to help you to get along well with others, especially on those days when maybe you're not feeling quite as friendly. You're not quite feeling like you want to be as sociable as usual, okay? Even if you have to fake it a few times this week, Angelite's really going to help you out with that. Don't forget to check out our weekly and daily horoscopes on healingcrystals.com and on our Facebook page, Crystal Talk. Don't forget to check out next week. I'll be talking about the equinox and the solar eclipse, and Mercury will be turning forward again. So lots of exciting energy coming up for us. Have a fabulous, happy, and a very magical week.